I told you it'd be quick, Twitch. We're back. Welcome to hour number 2 here of Court of Swords. Adam, tell me about this map.
So we fade in on the map sketched in the dirt, and we see a number of kind of awkwardly drawn boxes in a generally sort of semicircle around the edge of the river. So the river is sort of the main thing. It's the thing she draws first. Then she draws in the temple and the mayor's house around the market, and then a handful of buildings as best she can remember them. And her little brother offers advice to her, like, he's like, oh, you forgot one, or points at something, and she mostly is like, just like, shut up, I'm doing this quick. They don't care that this is our grandma's house, like, just shut up, kid. And he's trying to help, but she's pushing him out of the way. And then you get the map of the village drawn, and it's more or less what you expected coming in. They're all kind of built generally the same way around a central marketplace. And she tells you, this is the temple, or it was. These are the docks. It's where they load the boats with the good bodies. This is where you were when you woke up. She points at the marketplace. She says, we used to trade there. People would come from upriver, bring us. It doesn't matter. Only dead there now. What else do you need to know?
I kind of circle the harbor and say, these boats, how many men?
She says, living or dead?
Living, of course. I only am worried about our adversaries.
It depends. More before, less these days. 2, 3 at a time. They come from upriver, give commands to the dead in a language I don't like. I can't understand it. Well, I hope you don't have to hear it.
And the dead move?
She nods. Yes, the hollow ones. The other dead don't listen. I think that's why the hollow ones are killing them. And then what's left, if they're good, they're thrown on the boat. Ones with both arms, both legs, teeth, that sort of thing. They're checking all the bodies. That's what they would have done with you. They must have thought you were dead.
I look towards Baron and Velimir when they say this and say, I believe they're preparing for war. These bodies are usually collected and then unleashed on a city or a battlefield somewhere. Whoever is doing this is planning something major. We should make note of this, and if possible, stop it. I don't know if you guys are up for doing that, though.
I feel we should do something. For this happened to me many years ago when I was a child. The Hillstern clan, you may have not heard of it because there's not many left, because we were almost entirely wiped out by a very similar thing where necromancers attacked the night. So I feel we must do something.
The girl, when you're talking, the girl scowls at you, and she's like, she shakes her head, and she's like, don't be foolish, priest. No one's heard of your clan because you're hill folk, and no one cares about hill folk. We're not the same. This isn't like that. Humans are dead.
It's the equivalent of like a snap at someone to like watch your tongue, but it's more like a crack in the air that comes out of my mouth and try to interrupt her. And I say, like, we're in this together, but please watch your words.
The Roman wants to bust her in the lip.
Yeah, watch your tongue, please. If you do not mind.
Yeah.
You are insulting a great friend of mine. And we are only trying to help.
She gives you a confused look, like she thought she was doing the right thing. Like, in her mind, there's a very clearly established order of like you're the most important, and then her, right, and then probably Bairn, and then Velimir, and by you being like, no, he's important. Like, it's confusing for her.
Right. How many boats come each day?
She says, at first, 4 or 5 at a time. There were more bodies then. Now less. Maybe 1. I think they're running out of good dead to use. Soon maybe they won't come at all. Then we can start to clean up.
Baron, we cannot fight 5 boats with 3 men on each, regardless of the numbers. It is out of our control. I do not believe we could stop this with just the 5 of us.
Then we at least need to find out what's happening and report back to the court. So to bring more people with us.
I look towards Velimir and say, perhaps you could sneak in to the temple and see if there's anyone alive in there and perhaps see what they're doing. It's not a very good plan, but it would get us the information.
Strategically, that temple is the most prominent spot in the village, and if anyone of importance is going to be here, it's going to be there.
What do we know right now? What is to be gained by me sneaking in there? We know we are going to need more men to do this. Do you think it is worth it?
By the time we get back here and go through all of the court proceedings, as it were, this would all be over. This would all be done. I assume what information is to be gained now is only to be gained now and not at a later time.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. And
My
then,
fear, however, is that you get caught, you are killed, and then we are down to 4. Very likely scenario. We saw what happened on the bridge. And I kind of make like the side of one of my the side of my mouth like arches up, and I look at the kid when I say that.
Yeah, Twee says in like her dialect, she's like, I don't understand why you're allowing your servant to talk back to you. Just tell him what to do. Make him do it.
I say to her,
well, go
watch
ahead.
your tongue.
I
So
say-
she doesn't say that in a language that Baron or Velimir can understand.
Right. I say, Tweety.
I'm just going off of tone.
Yeah, definitely.
I
Yeah,
think
she gives you that preteen girl like eye roll, like just make him do it.
I think like when she says that and comments so everyone understands, I say, Tweety, these men are not my subordinates or people I deem as lesser beings. These are my accomplice companions. These are my friends. There's no differences here. Everyone is the same, just like you and I. Even though I may be part of the army, I may be of more importance in a political standard. You're important to us right now. You gave us this information, and without this, we would not be able to seek our goal.
She kind of scowls and she's like, grandmother always said bad friends lower us. I think you would have known something like this.
Well, old people die with bad habits. Those are old habits. Perhaps you should work on gaining some new ones. Not
She
to insult
shrugs.
your grandmother, but
Is she still? Is this all being spoken in common?
yes, this is
what
all
it?
common.
She's
Well,
speaking common now, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
yeah, and I'd say I do not wish to insult your grandmother, but times are different.
And I say to her, just like, little one, you may not like me, but you are young and have much to learn. I have respect for your cunning, wit, and taking care of your brother. Hopefully one day you will learn to reciprocate said respect.
Temperance always tells us that we need to be accepting of all types of thought and reflect on our lives throughout.
Yeah, she like the two of you like speak and she kind of like, you can see her thinking like, this is weird.
Why are they being nice?
I'm having feelings about this. They're saying things that make sense.
I think
And
it's
so-
that. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, so of course she responds by being like, we don't have time for this.
Yeah,
And,
at
like,
that point, I'm like going over and
turns away.
I'm putting my hand axes on my sides, and I put the javelin at my back and the scimitar on my side and the shield on my back, and say, "We need a plan. Velimir, are you up for perhaps scouting out the temple,
Yes, but what will you be doing?
making sure you don't get in trouble from afar? I do not know how I can accompany you in this. And Baron, we both know how quiet he is.
Hey, I try.
I do not mean that as an insult, Baron. I was simply saying that you're quite loud in that armor.
My armor's a little jingly, yes.
Well, it keeps you alive, and that's what matters."
Yes, my friend, if you get in trouble, I promise we will try our best to save you, unlike what you did for us.
I turn around and like look the opposite direction and like visibly like you see my back like move like I'm laughing,
Like you're
but I
trying
don't
not-
do it in front of Valimir or anyone else. Yeah.
I stare at Baron like blankly and just say, you two were foolish. There is nothing wrong with retreat if there is certain death. Better to stay alive, recover, and become stronger so you can fight a proper fight.
I turn around still clearly laughing and with as straight face as possible and say, "The past is the past, Velimir. I'm past it. Baron will continue to harp on it, but it is only in jest. We
And
understand why you did what you do."
I do understand, Velimir, why you did what you did, and I don't know if I would have done differently. So I accept what you've done. I say it in jest.
That's such a cleric thing to do. Like, I forgive you.
Yeah.
I'll pray for you, Velimir.
I just motioned to him. Was like, I do not need your forgiveness. And then
Well, if any of you don't already have inspiration charged, go ahead and take it. That was beautiful. It fit nicely for everyone's bonds. So yeah, go ahead and charge your inspiration. And yeah, where Zephyria, you seem to be sort of taking command. Is that the plan? You want to try to sneak into the temple?
I put my like I'm standing at this point, but I use the tip of my scimitar to like strike into the temple, and I look at Twee and say, the patrols on this building. Do you know how many?
She shakes her head and she says, "You keep saying patrol, but it's not like that. They're like rat catchers, only for the dead. So where the dead congregate, that's where they go. The dead move around looking for food, eating rotten rice, moldy plants. They look for food in the houses, always hungry. So where the food is, where the rot is, that's where the almost dead go. The hollow men follow them there and kill them."
Do they have simple weapons, or are they using ranged? Do they have bows in their hands like the ones we saw on the bridge?
She nods. They're all wearing the same gear, carrying soldiers' weapons.
I turn and say, perhaps if we have a distraction, I could put something up in the air and have them deal with that. They do not seem that intelligent.
Perhaps if we could find some source of rotting food to draw a large number of these to distract the hollow men.
We do have that creature on the outskirts of town. However, that is...
Velamir's eyebrow raises and he goes, perhaps some fire.
Any distraction will do. If it is a fire, I do not know if these creatures will care if it is burning, though.
His eyebrow lowers again.
I turn and say, where do these creatures currently find their rot? Is there a place that has not been completely ransacked yet?
She shrugs. It's been a long time. It's just a question of whether they run out of food before we do. But we're quick and quiet, and they're loud and stupid. So,
do these creatures move very quickly?
The almost dead? No. The hollow men, as quick as the living do.
Velimir, yeah, I believe we should go about sneaking, and if you do get caught, we will fight or perhaps run.
I agree. We have learned all we can. Let us get to action.
I agree. Baron, does this suit you?
Yeah, we need to find out what we can while the people are still here.
I say, take us to the building closest to the temple. We will figure out our plan there.
Okay. So, yeah, Twee and her brother, they take you to where the temple is. And as she said, like you don't really notice there's no active patrol of these like skeleton troops. The hollow men don't walk the streets specifically. So everything is quiet. It's like kind of abandoned as before. There are some carrion birds like you saw on the road, but mostly aside from a raven sort of cawing at you from a rooftop, you don't really see anything between here and your destination.
Is this morning time?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the morning. There's a grayish mist kind of all over everything that'll burn off in the sun, and then, as always, there's that acrid kind of ammonia smell that you wonder if you'll ever get it out of your clothes.
Good. I like the mist. Good for sneaking.
And yeah, and so you get to this building, and it's obvious now. Like when you get in there, I think the Twee and her brother go first, and they start to kind of ransack the building. They've taken you to a building they haven't gone to before, and watching them, they become quite efficient at like looking for food. They don't find much, but you can, watching them do this, you can tell that the rest of the village, all of the signs of ransacking was probably these two.
Mm-hmm.
These two or the dead as well. And they take you to this building, and you can see from here, like through the kitchen window, you can see the stone temple. It's a sort of 4-story stone building, like I said before, with the marks of the water on it. And then because we're kind of at a low tide time, there's this big dark opening in the front, and then the platforms where the gold statuary would have been. And then the blasphemous marks on the wall. And from this distance, you can see they look more like graffiti than like evil demonic runes. Like it just looks like someone has like splashed kind of awkwardly with paint or blood on
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's been done like it's kind of haphazardly done.
Yeah, more like flipping the finger to the gods than it is like defiling their temple specifically.
When we get there, I say, how many people walk out and go into this building? Would you
To
say?
Tweet?
Yeah, to Tweet.
She shakes her head. She says, "None. Not after what happened to the priest. They dragged all the bodies out, threw them in the pile, and I don't think anyone's gone into the temple. I think they're still scared of the gods."
Velimir, if you have any sort of trouble with anything, I know you'll run, but I'm just saying, run.
I trust you to run.
And if you get to the entrance and it's safe for us to go in, please signal for us the way you did for us last time.
Yes, we will definitely join you.
Very well. Velimir goes on his way.
Okay, so you want to try to sneak towards the temple?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Yeah, go ahead and make a stealth roll.
Oh, with that 23, nailing it.
Wow. All right. So
23. Did you hear that, MP3 people? I'm just gonna like completely break their immersion.
You got a 23. Okay. So yeah, to Baron and Zafira, Velimir disappears into the mist, and then you totally lose track of him. He's gone.
Yeah, I turned to Baron and say,
Slunk away.
well, at least he's good at this.
Yeah, he's good at vanishing when we need him the most.
I turn to Twee and say, if you know of a bow that is not being used, please let me know. My friend, in his preparation for this mission, left it at home, and we would love to have a bow on our side.
Yeah, she shakes her head, and she's talking to you, but she's focused on other stuff. Like she's opening a chest and pulling out clothes and throwing them on the floor, and like basically just rolling the house. So she's in the middle of doing something, and she kind of looks over her shoulder. She's like, no bows. Take one off the hollow man if you can.
That is what we were attempting to do on the bridge, but you know how that went.
So, Velimir, moving through the acrid mist, you approach the temple.
Sure do.
So, Velimir, are you a religious man at all? Do you have a god in your heart?
Velimir, I don't think he's like, he believes in the gods, and he's not like super overly religious. Yeah, I'm looking at these gods, the god sheet right now. I saw the tower and the world. Both of them kind of seem like they make sense. Also, I guess the moon.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I was kind of going through them.
Okay.
Yeah.
You-
Since
and
Velimir is a rogue, I mean, the moon kind of does make sense.
And I mean, it's fine. It's fine for you, like I was saying before, to like just write like right now or recently. That might be the case, but the moon particularly, like you. Why don't you make a religion check for me, just as you
Sure.
approach the temple?
Why not? See if I'm disgusted. All right, now I gotta get my character sheet up.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Religion. Perfect.
Okay, so you got a.
Just
You got a 3.
Yeah, he rolled a 1 and had a +2 for a total of the big 3.
yeah, the gods are cool
Okay.
and stuff.
Yeah. So Velimir, it's definitely a temple.
Velimir probably curses the gods in this.
Probably a temple.
Situation.
It's probably a temple. There's definitely just some temple stuff about it. You feel a sense of unease as you approach. It definitely looks like there's been some kind of like struggle here. The temple once had stone doors, but they appear to be missing. There's some broken rubble kind of lying around the entrance on the stairs. To give you a visual idea of the temple, it's the tallest building, not by much, but the tallest building in the area. It's maybe 4 total stories. A big stout stone building. And on the outside, there are all of these like long, kind of worn flat carvings of sort of religious scenes. And as you get closer, you can kind of make out like human forms, but like I said, the water has like washed over these walls so many times over the millennia that they've kind of worn thin. Mm-hmm. The doors have been broken open, and on the ground there are long dried, like congealed, bloody drag marks and boot prints. It looks like something was dragged out or into the temple.
These are boot prints, you said. Like, can I tell from what I know of the Hollow Men or whatever? Were they wearing boots, or is it just more skeletal?
Make an investigation check if you want to stop and take a look around.
Sure.
What Dude, the fuck? You are not the man for the mission here with another 3.
The exact same terrible roll.
1 plus 2. There you go.
Those are footprints, all right.
I mean, if you had succeeded, I would have been able to tell you maybe like the number of people or how heavy they were or the kinds of things you could learn from footprints, but it's just too smeared around. There's just a lot of dragging kind of back and forth, and you can't really pick out.
You count on me for some stealth, but beyond that, apparently, no.
Yeah, unfortunately.
All right. Well, so I'm at the entrance of it?
Yeah. You're standing near the entrance.
Can I see inside it all since I do have like low light vision?
Yeah, absolutely. You can see about 60 feet in. So inside the temple is shaped vaguely kind of in a vaguely triangular shape, and in each corner there are smaller shrines, little like stone shrines. And then at the far end, so if you're coming into one of the flat lines of the sort of triangle on the inside, on one of the walls there's a stone archway, and you can see from here like a stone ladder that leads up to the next floor. And as you kind of take all this in, you notice in the middle of the room a large like wooden structure has been erected. It's like a large pole, goes almost to the ceiling, so it's about like 10 or 15 feet tall. And there's a crossbeam up at the top, and something is like hanging from it, some dark shape. But you'd have to get closer to look at it.
There's a large pole with just something hanging from the top of it.
Yeah.
Sacrifice. Maybe. I guess I'm peeking. I mean, so I'm sorry again for people who look down on Pathfinder. In Pathfinder, there's like detect traps or whatever. Is there anything like that among that sort of thing that I can do here, or?
Yeah. Like you always have your passive perception operating in the background. So if the trap is hidden with a lower value, like it's a less difficult trap than that number, I'll tell you that it's there automatically. But if you want to stop and like really like look around the inside of the place, you can make a perception roll to try to do that.
I'll just do a perception roll real quick, just because I'm taking the time here.
Yeah, and you're not going to be penalized for if you roll lower than your passive.
Sure.
Okay, so you got 13, which is three better than your. Or that is your passive, because you get a +3. Okay, so taking the time to examine the room, you see in each corner these shrines. There's waxy kind of buildup in all the corners where candles have been set and then melted. So there's these kind of like alcoves of candle wax around a central shrine, which is like a little stone box with sand in it, and you can still see. At least one of the 3 of them hasn't been totally disturbed. The others have like blood splattered on them, and the sand has been like yanked out and thrown on the floor. There are sticks of incense, long burned out, sticking up out of the sand. There are plates in front of all of them, little stone plates that have like rotting fruit on them, but again flipped over and sort of like just ruined. Someone has very intentionally like made a mockery of this place. And at one of them, I think probably the world. So there's 3. There's a moon, a sun, and a world shrine. The world shrine, someone has definitely, albeit in the distant past, used it as a toilet. So it's Yeah, they like threw the sand on the floor and someone took a shit in it.
It's hardcore.
And and the whole place just looks like a bunch of like vandals have like run through here.
Do I see anybody inside right now from where I'm at?
So you're taking a look around and you turn to look, and as the sun has risen enough in the horizon, up on the wall you notice that there are these like slits cut into the sort of pyramid shape, and a big beam of light is sort of like arcing through the temple, and it's currently pointed at the sun shrine, so it's like illuminated by this bright white beam. But in the middle of the beam, interrupting the beam and throwing a very harsh sort of cross-shaped shadow on the sun shrine, you see the thing that was erected in the middle of the room. Someone has been crucified on this structure. There's a body hanging, pierced through the arms, and it's naked. It's an old man. He's had his like robes torn away, and he's hanging long dead from this sort of crucifix shape in the middle of the room.
Yeah, but that's it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a staircase leading upstairs, but
Right. Okay. Can they see me from the entrance?
No. Once you disappeared into the mist, you were gone. You'd have to give up your stealth to like whistle loudly or wave or whatever to get their attention from there.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I'll proceed inside the temple just a little bit more and do some more recon. If I don't see any immediate people in there, which I don't.
Yeah, and certainly not living ones.
Stealthily, I proceed.
Yeah, you can maintain the same stealth roll as before. So you ascend the stairs, and despite from the outside the pyramid looking like it had several stories, there's actually only one other floor. It's just that the floors are quite tall. And on this floor, there's sort of a sanctum. And again, it had at one point a stone door. The door has been broken and it's lying shattered on the floor. And in here, there's been a fire. Maybe recently, maybe not, but the floor and the walls, I mean, you know what burning things smell like. The floor and the walls are scorched with flame. There are scroll racks that lined the walls that are now just full of piles of ash, and they themselves are scorched. And there's a knocked over scroll case that has been burned.
Right. Okay, so this is the extent of what I can see in this temple, right? I've seen the room. Obviously I can investigate further. All right, so I'm going to use the stealth and get back to the rest of the party. Seems like it's empty and stuff, so I assume that I get back okay using the same stealth.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
So
yeah, you can return to the party.
Hi guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, Velimir.
Name just like there is a crucifix.
Velimir, reappears, and it's been about an hour. So you're back. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, just explaining the whole thing. It's a crucified old man. Could be priest, could be the mayor. His robes were torn from him. The shrine to the world has been desecrated. A fire in the room above temple. And then, just regaling, or,
Yeah, Twee says, when you see that fire in the temple, she nods. She says, there was smoke coming from the temple 3 weeks ago, maybe longer. I wondered. It smelled like burning wood.
From what I can tell, it is empty. I did not get good look at the top of the temple and the upstairs, but it seemed like it was empty. I did not want to go further by myself.
Did you see what they did to the priest?
Unfortunately, I saw what they did to him, yes.
She nods and like looks pointedly at Baron like, careful.
Such desecration, such a shame. I will pray for their souls.
What do you want to do, guys?
Zafira, what do you think we should do?
I can investigate further if you wanted to. I did not feel confident or it was wise to proceed ahead in case other traps lay ahead of me.
Did you perhaps see any sort of lodging from where you were up in the upper levels? I'm not sure.
From what I could see. It was all burnt.
I turned
desecrated.
I turn to Twee and say, what was this building used for besides worship? Was there any rituals up on the higher levels that you know about?
She kind of looks at you like, where are you from that you don't know the answer to this? And she's like, it's the temple. People were married there. Funerals, prayer, holidays. What do they use temples for where you're from? Orgies?
I mean, maybe.
She laughs. She laughs and shakes her head and she's like, this is not that kind of temple.
I mean,
Maybe at the Temple of the Lovers.
I was gonna say, yeah, so like that's totally a thing. They're full on like orgy temples because that's what the lovers are all about. So, you can't really tell if she was joking or like being like, you're from the decadent city. But yeah, she's like, yep, it's not that kind of temple.
I turn and say, I'm not sure if going in there is worth it. If we are perhaps seen at all, they will have us barricaded at the door. They could set it on fire.
perhaps the doors are knocked down. It would be difficult to barricade.
Any sort of fight would only be bad for us as we would get pigeonholed at the door. I do not know if going in there is the right course of action. We have these boats coming soon. What time do they usually show? Where's the sun in the sky?
She says they come before it gets too hot. Harder to move the bodies then.
Well, they should be here soon then.
Yeah, and I think when you say that, her brother is he's over at the window and he turns and he's like, Twee, look. And she turns and goes to the window and we can see on the river, and maybe we get the kind of pullback shot. We can see a boat coming down the river, and it's like a flat bottom boat, and there are two human figures on board. They're both wearing cloaks, like light cloaks, so we can't really see their features or what they're wearing. But one of them is pushing the boat through the river, so there's this like wake of like slime behind it, and they're coming down the river towards the docks, and so that's what her brother is pointing out. We can kind of see it in the distance.
I do not like this. I do not know if we should stay any longer in this town.
How close are we to the boat, like from where we are?
I mean, you're like at a fast walk, you're no more than a half hour from anywhere in this village.
Okay.
Where is the mayor's building from here?
It's across the market from the temple. So it's like if you're at the temple, it's just across the way.
I turn to... I kind of just say this out loud to everyone. If a magistrate was here, he would have gone to the mayor's building. We could search there and then leave. I do not know how much longer we want to be here. If it is true that there are many boats coming and these boats have multiple men on them, we would not win that fight.
We were sent here to find out what happened to our previous magistrate, our comrade. We need to get a little bit more information before we leave, I think.
Then we should head towards the mayor's building and then leave immediately.
Let's go.
I don't know if it's safe to move when the boat's right there. They might spot us.
As far as I can tell, like we're in cover, right? Because we went back to where we were before. So the boat shouldn't have a line of sight on us.
Yeah.
Unless we're like making,
Okay.
noise.
Yeah, we'll go like back streets and stuff. The kids would hopefully know that.
Yeah, they can kind of lead you around without too much trouble.
Yeah, I turn to Twee and say, take us to the mayor's building.
Okay.
Discreetly, of course.
Yeah. So I think she says to you, she's like, all of this investigating, it's dangerous. This is a risk for me and my brother. And she kind of like looks at you, puts her hands on her hips. She's like, you need to give us more food before I'm going to help you anymore.
I kind of like look at
Bellamir's face.
I look towards both of the other two
Kids.
and say, I understand your need for food, but at this point, you do not have any bargaining chips.
She says, if you want to go on your own, fine.
We are going to the mayor's building. We're going to investigate it for a very short time, and then we are leaving. If you do not wish to join us, then perhaps we should part ways.
You spoke of really loving this town and not wanting to leave. Surely by now you must recognize we are here to help, and want to set things back to the way they were. Proper order, not desecration. You can either resist or get out of our way.
I know you're hungry and scared, but we have to have enough rations to get back to from where we came. And we've given you so much already. Can you just help us for just a little bit longer?
Why don't you roll to find out? Let's roll persuasion.
Can we
I
somehow
roll that as well?
help him because we're all trying to persuade
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, Baron, roll persuasion with roll it with advantage.
Okay.
Who has the highest persuasion? I have +1. I have +1.
And I'll cast guidance on myself as well.
Okay.
Oh fuck, you're at -1 for. Okay, well you have guidance, so that works.
We'll see if the temperate the god of temperance will.
As well.
I should have read plus D4.
Yeah.
Oh, 12.
Not bad. That's not bad at all. Okay, so you got a 12 with those two together. So I think, I think she kind of scowls and like looks down and she's just like, you can see her really like struggling with it. And then she says, she's like, okay, one more. We'll take you to the mayor's house, but after that, no more. I have to look after him. And she like looks over and her brother is I think he's just like standing staring like terrified out the window. He's just like looking at this boat approaching and he looks like totally afraid.
Yeah, I go over and stand to him and like kneel down on or hunch down so I'm eye level and like take his chin and look force it to look at me and say, "They will not harm you as long as we still breathe. Come with us. We will go to the mayor's building and then we will leave this village. I need you to convince your sister to join us."
Okay, and you're speaking his dialect, and he turns to her and he's like he says, and as if you're the only one that can understand this, he says, Tui, I think they want to help. And she's like, quiet, Somning, you don't understand. They're just gonna take things and leave. They have a house to go back to. This is our village. We have to stay and protect it. And he's like, I'm tired. I don't want to. I want to go wherever they're going. And the two of them have this like brief argument. Yeah. And she eventually looks at you, Zafira, and switches to court common, and she says, "Fine, we'll help you as much as we can, but this is our village, and we're still not leaving. But as long as you're here, I suppose we'll have to look after you."
Yeah,
after all.
I start to walk out of the building, and I say, "Soon you will find that your village is no longer a village, but a place that welcomes death. And if you wish to die, you will stay here. If not, you will follow us." And I just like walk out.
Okay. All right. So she and her brother follow you.
And then I stop and, where's the mayor's building?
Yeah.
You like dramatically walked off. Like,
yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Turn around, walk back right in.
Point of conversation.
Exactly.
I mean, you saw a map. You presumably know where you're going.
Presumably.
Yeah. I mean, you can figure out where the mayor's
the mayor's building is distinct enough where you can see it's not a hut. You know?
Yeah, it's a big house with several stories. It's on the edge of the river, so he's got like riverfront property. And
when you say edge of the river, like we're talking about the river with the boats, so we're walking towards the boats?
Yeah, so the boats are coming down from upriver, and they'll go past the mayor's house. The mayor's house is kind of like on the edge between the river and the courtyard or the marketplace rather.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a little trick. It's a little shady.
Yeah, a little close.
Yeah. Where's the position of the boats right now? As we're like,
they're perpendicular to us, right?
Yeah.
Like, have they reached the mayor's hut? Are they?
You could wait until they get past the.
I think we should wait until they get past.
Yeah, if we see the boat, like Velimir advises to do that, we'd definitely wait. Like we're not going to just walk in.
Would reason that is the best.
Sure. Okay. All right. Yeah. So you wait, and we see the boat pass by the mayor's house. They don't look at it. They don't like. No one on board seems to care. And then you can make your move, and you can head for the mayor's house.
Great.
Okay. Can we do so?
All right, cool. So are you making any effort to be like stealthy, or are you just gonna kind of
Yeah,
go?
all effort. We're not just like trotting
Yeah.
around. Dum de dum, we're going to the mayor's house.
We break out in a song.
Yeah, I'm just like, Baron, please lead us in song. He starts fucking high.
Clang.
Oh!
Lollipop.
Playing, let's everybody play the moving gong.
Exactly.
Am I rolling again for stealth, or is it still retained?
Yeah. So everybody roll for stealth, but with Twee and Somning's help, you can roll with advantage.
Okay.
Okay. Nice. Who was that? Oh, that's
Thanks,
Baron.
I got
That's
it.
Baron.
Is there something you're supposed to do for rolling with advantage, or is it just like you
You
roll?
just roll it and you take the highest
You
of
take the
two.
highest of the two
Perfect,
numbers,
okay,
yeah.
cool.
So Baron got a 20. 25 for Velamir.
Wow, Velamir.
And a fucking crit
Damn.
for Zafira with the 24.
Look at that. All right. So
It's about stealth, okay?
y'all are plenty stealthy on your approach.
Yeah, we're roadie running through there and like holding our weapons so they don't jingle. And then Baron's just tiptoeing. Oh, so silently.
Somehow, like all of my armor just sets into place and it doesn't jingle for just that moment. And
Maybe
explain why. It's just
maybe you like douse yourself in some chalk or like wood dust or something so the wood or the metal doesn't clink somehow.
Awesome. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. So let me pop you over to the mayor's house here.
Oh.
Yeah, you can take a look.
Boy. I missed
So so this big building you can't see the inside of. This is like the mayor's house. It's on the edge of the water. I'll grab.
And where are we approaching from?
Yeah, I'll grab you from another sheet. Bring in here. So you're approaching from the land side. So you're gonna be on the edge over here. So we're in this vicinity.
Okay.
So you can see that there's like a wagon kind of parked under the mayor's house. So you see how there's those stairs on the like north end up here?
Right here.
Mhm.
Yeah, up there. So those stairs lead up to the actual house. The mayor's house is on stilts. There are these eaves that kind of hang over, and they're protecting a little under area with some storage. There are some clay jars that are down there, many of which are now broken open. And then those stairs lead up to the main floor of the mayor's house.
Yeah. Do I in the immediate vicinity of the mayor's house? Are there any? I don't know, any weapons, any bows? That's basically what I'm looking for. Bows. I'm just trying to
Just lying around.
scavenge, see what I got.
He's constantly doing perception check to see if there is bows or bow-like material to perhaps make a makeshift bow. To have
A dead hollow
just some
man
pebbles.
building.
Eventually, he just finds pebbles. Like maybe I could throw these.
Yeah. No, there are no bows just lying about.
Whatever.
But if you want to like take a minute to like case this floor first, there's also another ground level building up here.
Yeah.
And that building has a door on the north end. It looks to be some kind of like servants' quarters.
Yeah.
And the humans on the boats are to the north of us right now.
No, they were coming downriver. So upriver is north. So like north on the map, they're going this way, and they've already passed.
Well, yeah, the boat that was there is already passed, correct?
Yes, yeah, the boat's already passed by. So
I forget? The rogue can certainly use a crossbow, right?
yeah, I think so.
What's what kind of crossbow does the kid have?
It's a light crossbow.
I look at Velamir and he's just like constantly staring at the bow, and I turn and say, Velamir, they need to be armed too. You can't take their weapons.
Oh, you can use simple weapons and hand crossbows, and I think a crossbow is a light crossbow is a simple weapon.
I whisper back to Zafir. I'm like, he doesn't know how to use it. Look at him, he's shaking.
I have a crossbow that I could give to you if you like.
We both turn to Baron, and I just like drop my scimitar.
I forgot I had it. I'm sorry.
Baron,
This entire time you had a light crossbow.
I'm
I had
suddenly
other
not
things on my
angry at
mind.
Velamir for leaving us. Now all my anger is directed to you. Perhaps you should lead a prayer in temperance and teach me some. Because at this moment, I'm not very... I just kind of stop myself.
I love that Zafir was like, I'm not feeling very temperate right now.
Yeah. I just stop mid-sentence. I'm just like, That would be great if you could please lend.
I just like give me the crossbow.
So I hand him my crossbow and bolts.
Fucking hell. All right, so I guess I'm adding that to my inventory.
Okay, so yeah, you same as you added them before. You can just open a new slot and then look up light crossbow in the SRD and just drag it over, and that'll do all. Yeah, and that'll do all the
Light crossbow. Does it you have to do the boat or if it's a bolts as well? Like that?
Yeah, you'll have to
I
add
think the
those.
bolts have the damage on them. Yeah.
Adding the crossbow will automatically add a new attack type for you on your character sheet.
Things being lucky again. Damn it. Don't worry about it, I'll get it.
Okay. So you approach the mayor's house, and after this short interchange of like, hey, who has a crossbow? What do you want to do?
I want to try to make a perception roll to understand, or is there a roll that's the equivalent of like a tactics roll to understand like all of the ins and outs of what this building is that I can tell? Is that just perception?
Yeah, just be a perception roll, and I'll remember that you're looking at it from a tactical perspective.
Okay. I will use my inspiration for this and roll perception.
Okay, great.
19. Didn't need to use
All right,
it, but it's
good.
still worth it.
Yeah. So you take a look at the building. I guess the trick here would be that there are like many levels to it. So if there is someone upstairs, they might be able to see you already as you approach, as you're looking inside.
Are there windows?
Yeah, there are.
How many?
There's a window on your side. There's a window here.
Oh, and then there's 5 on the other side. Each one of those little divots is a window?
Yeah, each one of the little divots is a window, and it looks out.
Okay. I want to, like... I basically point to that and say, like, Velimir, perhaps you should climb up and peek in before we walk up those stairs. There might already be someone looking at us. Or in that room waiting for us.
He's motioning at the window up top.
Yeah.
Before he finishes saying it, I'm just already doing it. As if I already had the idea.
You're like, yes, of course. That was my idea from the beginning. Okay, sure. All right, so let's have you. You're gonna sneak up there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me roll something real quick here.
Oh yay!
Uh-oh.
Let's just see about that. Why don't you go ahead and make a stealth roll for me, so I know what I'm rolling against.
Okay.
Whoa.
It's probably a stealth check. Obviously. You have inspiration.
Okay, you got an 11. All right, Velimir, let's see if I can beat you. I can indeed.
Fucking Christ.
So, Velimir, you approach the building. You want to like come up to the edge and like peek your head around the corner?
Adam beat him with a 17, by the way.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I mean, I feel like I can't say no because you're beat. Like I know your role, so it's like, of course, my character would continue. Like,
Okay. But I'm asking, like, I assume you're not just gonna like walk into the room.
no, I'm peeking. I'm not like,
Yeah.
I'm not just going in. I was going to check it out.
I figured. Okay. All right. So you can see basically the whole interior up to the edge here. So I'll
He's
reveal
going.
that for you.
He's here, not at the stairs, right?
Yeah. That's right.
Okay.
So
I'm like right there.
yeah, so you can kind of peek in. So you can see the inside, and this first level appears to mostly be storage. Most of it is kind of ruined, but the mayor seems to have kept like a goodly amount of stuff.
A goodly.
In this first one. So he's got like boxes of like trade goods, probably like some dried fish and stuff, but it's all been ransacked and broken. So there's like shattered crates and all that kind of lying about the inside. You see a ladder over here that leads up to another level, and there's another room in the back that you can't see from here. And you also see the person standing over here pointing a bow at you, and he's going to shoot you through the window. So let's just make that happen.
Wait, where's this person? I didn't see him.
Yeah, I don't see a person.
I'll put the person down for you.
Reveal the person.
He's standing in the room. Let's see.
close?
That's a good.
Anticipation is killing me. Just ping where he's at.
There we go.
Oh fuck.
So he's standing over here,
Okay.
and he's going to shoot at you. He's got a crossbow.
Gonna fucking miss. Miss.
You can use it. You can use your inspiration to make sure that he takes a disadvantage.
No, inspiration actually only affects
Fuck.
you.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can't. It's not a thing, unfortunately. So he's got a short bow. He's got a precious short bow.
Good God, man, just fucking roll it.
I'm getting to it. All right, here we go.
It needs a 13 or higher, right?
All right, he hits you.
Great.
He hits you with his. So he's got a crossbow.
He
Sorry.
hits you with a 16 for 5 damage on a d6.
Now you have you. This is the thing. You have cover from the window, but with a 16, like your AC is only 13 anyway, so he still hits you. So he's on guard. He hears you climb up onto the eave and like peek through, and just fires at you. And you all. I mean, how do you react when you?
I mean, he's shooting through a fucking window. I feel like, all right, whatever. I guess it was that close.
Yeah, you got cover and stuff.
Well,
so.
the second that I see him go under attack, I will start running for the stairs, run into the building, and just go straight for this guy. So
Okay.
let me just see how long that is. So that's 20 feet to get to the stairs, 15 feet to get up top, and then 15 feet. So 60, it's 80. So I could go 60 to get up there. So
Yeah, let's roll initiative.
yeah, okay.
Let's make that happen.
He has no disadvantage though, shooting in through a window like that. Like
You had cover, so he
Cover.
he rolled a 16 and a
just
14,
rolled
but
to
he
beat
still
it.
hits you with the 14. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't have disadvantage. Cover gives you a +2 to your armor class.
And he still beat it.
And he
okay.
still hits
He
you with
still
that
beat it,
16. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yep.
God, I fucking hate level 1.
Cool.
Initiative
Okay,
rolls.
so yes, let's go ahead and roll for. Click your token and then roll your initiative.
I rolled a 9 on my initiative.
Okay, I can add you.
Oh, you want me to
you gotta
re-roll
click
it?
your token.
Oh,
Yeah, click
I'd
your
love
token.
to re-roll that 9, Adam.
Yeah, go ahead.
A 13. There was much
It's
rejoicing.
better.
It's
All
better.
right. That and then an initiative. Oh, what I get? 8.
8.
8.
Baron with the 5.
Ooh.
And they roll a 20.
Of
Adam
course.
continues.
Of course they do.
All right.
So the attack continues. Is that
Yeah, he'll shoot
it
at you
actually
again.
does.
fantastic? This is wonderful.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Valimir.
I'm gonna laugh I'm gonna laugh if you just die. If you just fall. the thing is that you
I got
can be
this
healed.
fucking little like mouthy kid watching me just take fucking arrows through it.
Yeah,
To be clear-
I like that
to be
you're
clear,
all. You,
These are big. They're big open windows. They're not like little arrow slits. You don't have 3/4 cover. You have a small amount of cover from the lip of the thing. So you're kind of like pulling yourself up. You got shot.
As a rogue, I get no like reaction time or anything. Like I've been shot. I just kind of sit there and I'm like, he's
Well,
just
so as a rogue, you have a higher dexterity, which would allow you to act earlier in the initiative order. However, I rolled better than you.
yeah,
So.
we rolled poorly.
All right. So
I just like the idea that he's shot and I'm just there like, go ahead, reload. Reload.
he's fast.
I'm
He
still
shoots
here.
you
Yeah.
and then shoots you again. So let's see if he hits on the second one.
Oh god. Does he still have cover?
No.
He still have
Oh.
co-
So
fuck.
yeah. So the second shot,
He rolled an 8 and missed.
it hits. Yeah, he rolls an 8, hits the windowsill, and does not hit you. He shouts in common. He's like he yells. He's like, "There's someone here!" And he
Right.
turns to look this way,
Which way? Oh,
down that way, and then let's take a look.
could use some temperance.
Yeah.
Okay. So he runs over there. Also, this area is open just to make sure because the wall ends there. So above you could jump onto the
Oh,
cart.
so
and
we
then
could jump up the cart and jump straight in there.
Yes.
Are you gonna
correct.
make an athletics checks if I do that?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
Because you can just
okay.
run up the cart and climb.
Fantastic.
So the dark servant that emerges from the room, he can see you down there. So he's going to shoot at Zafira.
All right. Do I have cover?
My armor class is. This is what my armor class is with light armor because I am wearing light armor, right?
Yeah, it should be 13.
Just making sure.
Zafira, no, he misses you.
Okay.
So he fires his crossbow down at you, hits the wagon, and he's done. And then his friend. Let's see. Okay, he can't move far enough, so he comes running out and takes cover behind these boxes. So he's hiding out there. Okay, so that's it for them. Zafira, what do you want to do?
I will use the ability Rage, and in terms of what that looks like, I don't scream or anything. It's pretty much like any anime or any DBZ match where you've watched. You just see like the wind start to swirl around me. And it says like as I'm running up the cart in front of this building, it says like when I step, you see kind of like the air being my steps instead of me touching the cart. And it's faster than you've seen me move in general. There's no mechanics for it in terms of boosting my movement speed or anything. But I just move super quick and super diligently straight up in front of this guy and attack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like unusually focused, unusually graceful, just kind of like flowing towards him.
Yep.
Okay.
And here is the attack. Do I need to... I don't get a bonus because I'm using a... For those wondering, I don't get a damage bonus with Rage because I'm using a finesse weapon, which is based off of dex and not strength. So the only bonus this gives me is half damage from piercing, bludgeoning, and whatever the other one is. Attacks. Mm-hmm. So here's the scimitar roll.
Piercing, bludgeoning, and slashing.
I rolled a 15.
Okay. 15 is sufficient to hit him. Yep.
5 damage.
Okay. Yeah, they're wearing leather armor under their... I mean, they have these like loose kind of robes on, but they're not like scary cultist robes. They're just like regular plain robes. And you slash out with your scimitar, cutting through the robe, and you feel the armor underneath, but you manage to dig through it.
Okay.
And wound the character. So he yelps in pain and staggers back against the boxes behind him.
Good.
Okay, so that's Zafira on 13. Velimir, you are on an 8. You can now act. What would you like to do?
Okay, so I'm right here. Where's the nearest entrance for me other than the window?
You can move to the edge of the wall and hop around to the inside.
Right, okay.
So you can go. You can go across this section.
They wouldn't really have. I mean, I guess they'd have view on me coming into.
Mm-hmm. You can use that wall as cover if you want to fire your crossbow back at them. This one has the one on the bottom has cover, but the one on the left.
You're saying I can fire from where I'm at right now?
You can fire through the window at the guy that Zafira is fighting. And remember, you are a rogue. You want to fight the same people as
exactly
your friends are.
Yeah. All right. So I'll probably just do that. I guess I'll take aim and fire crossbow at him. Mm-hmm.
All right, so you, once per turn, you can deal an extra d6 damage to one creature you hit with an attack. If you have advantage, you don't need advantage if they're within 5 feet, if you have a friend within 5 feet. So that means that any damage you deal to this one will be extra if you hit him. Okay.
Just like crossbow. For some reason I put it. How do you delete one? Not that it's a big deal, but I have 2 on there.
Let me take a look for you. Oh, yeah, you totally do. I'll get rid of it.
Cool. All right, cool. All right, if I can just roll it. Boom.
All right.
Nice.
Good shit.
Good. Yep, so you hit, and you deal your regular damage plus your sneak attack. So go ahead and click light crossbow there and deal your damage.
Fuck yeah.
Okay. So ignore that +3 because that would be from the crit, right? Because if you had advantage, that would have been a crit. So you got 7 damage. Now roll just a d6.
Okay.
So this is for your sneak attack.
Is it only... Oh, it's only 1d6?
At first level, yeah.
Oh, 3 is 2d6, right? Nice, dude. It's fucking so much damage.
All right. So how much damage total did you deal?
14, right?
No, because that 3 is from the crit. So it's 7 plus
11.
11.
Yeah. Okay. So between the attack from Zafira and the sudden sneak crossbow shot,
maybe like as the shot passes by me, you see the wind actually like pick up right as it hits me, and it actually flies faster at the last second.
Velimir, if I can describe it, he's shooting like he's literally just pissed the fuck off. He's got like fire in his eyes, and he's like, "Oh motherfucker!" Like he just takes a moment, like one eye and everything, and just fucking lets it go. You can describe, I guess, how it hits or whatever.
Nice. Yeah. So it's 11 damage. And yeah, I think it's a combination of, your fiery rage and the wind swirling around Zafira that you fire, and Zafira's kind of wings grab the arrow and push it even like harder into the guy. And he staggers back and goes limp. So he's just like lying on the ground there.
That's right. Valimir can do shit too. Woo!
All right, so Baron, why don't you take your turn, and then we'll take a break at the end of the initiative order.
Okay, let's see. How far away am I? All right, I think I'm going to run up next to the guy that's not in cover right here.
Mhm.
And
Can you attack from adjacent? Like if he was here behind cover, could he attack this guy still?
No, these boxes are all in the way, so that's
Gotcha.
pretty much the only place you can stand and hit this guy.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit him with my warhammer.
So before you do that, we saw
Yeah.
Zafira kind of like leap gracefully into the into Mir's building. What does it look like when Baron climbs up the wagon up onto the second floor? Is it equally as graceful? Like, it's okay if it is. I'm just curious, is the way you described yourself carrying your.
Suddenly, unlike the latter, he was filled with inspiration because this is a desperate time and his friends need him. So somehow, by the grace of temperance, he finds his footing as he climbs up the ladder with the holy grace that one would not expect of a small creature of this stature. And he rushes at full speed right to the enemy to try to land his holy hammer right in his face.
Nice.
And he swings with all his might. For 11.
And you hit him, but much of the force of the blow is absorbed by the leather armor that this person is wearing underneath. And also, when you go to fight him, it's evident to you, and I think probably Zafira as well, though I'm not sure how like cognizant of this stuff you would be in your state of rage, but they are trained fighters. These aren't just like bandits or whatever. These are soldiers essentially. And he turns to avoid the majority of the blow. Your hammer catches him in the shoulder, but deals no damage.
Would I need to wait for my turn to make a perception check to try to understand if these people are wearing any sort of garb that I would understand who they are?
Yeah, definitely. That's a thing you could take as a bonus action in your turn.
Okay.
But yeah, we're at the top of the initiative order. We're back at 20 for the Dark Servants. So let's take a break here, and we'll come back and finish off the battle in the Mayor's Mansion.
Fantastic. All right, we'll be right back, guys. Still 2 hours more to go here on episode 2 of Court of Swords. We will see you guys in just a little bit for hour number 3. We'll see you guys then.